Hi guys, it's Morgan, and today I'm going to be talking about differences between the book and the movie Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Now, if you haven't read the book or seen the movie, this video will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, stop watching the video now, go read the book and see the movie, read all of the Harry Potter books and see all of the Harry Potter movies while you're at it, and then come back. Or if you don't care about being spoiled, keep watching. So here are differences between the book and the movie Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Fudge's meetings with the Muggle Prime Minister and Fudge introducing the Prime Minister to the new Minister of Magic, Rufus Scrimgeour, doesn't happen in the movie like it happens in the book. And I think that's too bad, because if it was in the movie, it would have shown people who might not have read the books that the Wizarding World and the Muggle world do keep in contact for certain situations. The placement of Bellatrix and Narcissa going to Snape's house to get him to help Draco is different in the book and the movie. In the book, it takes place in Chapter 2, right after we find out that the Ministry of Magic and the Muggle Prime Minister keep in contact. In the movie, it takes place after Harry and Dumbledore see Slughorn, and Harry gets reunited with the Weasleys and Hermione. I think since the Muggle Prime Minister and the Ministry of Magic meeting wasn't the first scene in the movie, the Bellatrix, Narcissa, and Snape scene would have been a good start to the movie. The way Harry meets up with Dumbledore is different in the book and the movie. In the book, Dumbledore goes to Privet Drive to get Harry, but in the movie, Harry sees Dumbledore while he's at a cafe at a train station and meets him on the platform. And this makes sense since the Dursleys aren't in the movie. Also, in the book, it's revealed that Harry gets number 12 Grimmauld Place and Creature, and Hagrid will be reunited with Buckbeak, but that isn't mentioned in the movie. In the book, the reason that Dumbledore knew that Slughorn was hiding and hadn't been attacked was because there was no dark mark over the house. But in the movie, Dumbledore knew because the blood on the ceiling was dragon blood, not human blood. I'm not sure why they decided to change the reason that Dumbledore knew Slughorn was hiding, but it still worked. When Harry arrives at the Burrow in the book, Ron and Hermione are still sleeping, and he sees Mrs. Weasley and Tonks. But when he arrives in the movie, they're not sleeping, and he gets to see Ginny, Hermione, Ron, and Mrs. Weasley. And I really liked that Harry's friends were awake in the movie. Also, in the book, Dumbledore goes to the Burrow with Harry, but in the movie, he doesn't. In the book, we learn that Bill and Fleur are engaged, and that Fleur isn't liked by Ginny, Hermione, or Mrs. Weasley. This isn't mentioned in the movie, even though in the Deathly Hallows Part 1 movie, we do see their wedding. In the book, Harry, Ron, and Hermione follow Draco, who snuck off to Borgin and Burke's, and listen to his conversation with Mr. Borgin, and then Hermione tries to get Mr. Borgin to tell her what Draco reserved, but he doesn't. This doesn't happen this way exactly in the movie, although they do follow Draco and Narcissa to Borgin and Burke's and see them looking at the Vanishing Cabinet, but don't hear what they say. In the book, the first Slug Club meeting takes place on the train in Slughorn's compartment, but in the movie, the first meeting takes place in Slughorn's office. And I thought it made more sense in the movie. In the book, it's Tonks that finds Harry still on the train, but in the movie, it's Luna. Tonks' role in the movie was a lot smaller than her role in the book, and I really don't like that. Also, in the book, when Tonks takes Harry to Hogwarts, Snape meets them at the gate. But in the movie, Harry and Luna meet Professor Flitwick at the gate, but they do see Snape vouching for Draco to get him past the security measures. In the book, Slughorn says that a bottle of Felix Felicis lasts for 12 hours, and that whoever drinks it will have luck from dusk till dawn. But in the movie, he says that the person who drinks it will succeed in all of their endeavors until the effects wear off, without giving a time limit. And I think it would have been a good idea to give a time limit, so whoever drank the Felix Felicis will know how long they have. In the book, the memories that Dumbledore shows Harry are an employee of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement visiting the Gaunt family, Dumbledore meeting Tom Riddle for the first time, Tom Riddle visiting his uncle, Tom Riddle asking Slughorn about Horcruxes, Tom Riddle visiting Zabahiah Smith, and Tom Riddle asking Dumbledore for the Defense Against the Dark Arts teaching position at Hogwarts. In the movie, the only memories we see are Dumbledore meeting Tom Riddle for the first time and Tom Riddle asking Slughorn about Horcruxes. I do wish we could have seen all the memories in the movie, but I do understand that they were probably cut for time. When Harry is asked why he suspects that Draco was behind the necklace that cursed Katie, in the book he tells McGonagall about how he, Ron, and Hermione followed Draco to Borgin and Burke's. But in the movie he says he just knows. And since he said that, I don't really blame anyone for not believing him. It would have been better to have some evidence. The part of the book where Tom Riddle assumes that his father must have been a wizard because he doesn't think his mother would have died if she was a witch isn't in the movie, but I think it would have been interesting if it was. And it would have also been interesting to see Tom Riddle's reaction when he found out the truth. In the book, Harry and Ron see Ginny and Dean kissing, which causes Ginny and Ron to fight, and Ginny tells Ron that Hermione kissed Crumb. And since this doesn't happen in the movie, it can't be said that Ron was dating Lavender for revenge, so he might have actually liked her, but then found her annoying. Also in the book, when Harry sees Ginny kissing Dean, he realizes he has feelings for Ginny. But in the movie, his feelings for Ginny seem to be there the entire time. The conversation that Harry hears Draco and Snape have is shorter in the movie than it is in the book, which is probably because they wanted to focus on the fact that Snape made an unbreakable vow. Also, in the book, Harry hears the conversation under his invisibility cloak, but in the movie, he's hiding around a corner. In the movie, there's a scene where the Death Eaters, Bellatrix and Greyback, attack the burrow, and Harry runs after Bellatrix, and Ginny goes with him. This isn't in the book, but I thought it was a great scene to show how the Death Eaters are back in action. In the movie, when Harry is spending Christmas at the burrow, there are scenes that hint at Harry and Ginny's feelings for each other. But in the book, Ginny doesn't show any signs of her feelings for Harry until they start dating. I thought it was cute in the movie. All of the little hints were really cute. In the book, Rufus Scrimgeour and Percy Weasley visit the burrow during Christmas, and Scrimgeour asks Harry to tell the Wizarding World that the Ministry is doing a great job. But obviously, Harry won't. This isn't in the movie, and I understand that because of timing and it's not an important scene, but it would have been nice to see Harry agree with Scrimgeour when he said that he was Dumbledore's man through and through. In the movie, it's clear that Lupin and Tonks are already a couple, but in the book, they don't become a couple until the end. And I really don't like how their relationship isn't really included in the movies. In the book, when Harry and Dumbledore go into Slughorn's tampered memory and see Tom Riddle ask Slughorn about Horcruxes, there's a fog, and then they hear Slughorn's voice saying he doesn't know anything about Horcruxes and wouldn't tell them if he did, and to get out. In the movie, when Tom Riddle asks about Horcruxes, you can't really hear what he says, but Slughorn says he doesn't know and to get out. It's very clear in both the book and the movie that Slughorn worked very hard to change his memory. In the book, when Harry takes Ron to Slughorn to get an antidote for the love potion, Ron tries to get past Slughorn because he thinks Romilda is in Slughorn's office. In the movie, Ron hugs Slughorn because he thinks Slughorn is Romilda. I thought this scene was really funny, and I thought Rupert Grint did a great job acting like he was under a love potion. In the book, the visitors that Ron has when he's in the hospital wing are Harry, Hermione, Ginny, Fred and George, Hagrid, and Mr. and Mrs. Weasley. In the movie, the visitors that he has are Harry, Hermione, Ginny, Lavender, Dumbledore, McGonagall, Madame Pomfrey, Slughorn, and Snape. I was kind of surprised that Mr. and Mrs. Weasley weren't in the scene in the movie. You would think they would want to check on their son. In the book, Luna does the commentary for a Quidditch game, but that doesn't happen in the movie, which is too bad because I think that would have been really funny, and I'm sure Ivana Lynch would have had a lot of fun doing it. In the book, Harry sends Kreacher and Dobby to follow Draco to see what he does, but this doesn't happen in the movie. Which makes sense because it's not mentioned that Harry now owns Kreacher, and Kreacher isn't in the movie, and the only movies that Dobby is in are Chamber of Secrets and Deathly Hallows Part 1. In the book, Harry realizes that the reason that Draco has been disappearing from the Marauders map is because he's been going into the Room of Requirement. This isn't mentioned in the movie, although there is a deleted scene of Harry seeing Draco disappear off the map. Another thing in the book is that they realize that Crabbe and Goyle have been taking Polyjuice Potion to look like girls so they can guard the Room of Requirement. It's unfortunate that this wasn't in the movie, because it would have been really funny. In the book, Ron and Lavender Brown's relationship ends when Lavender sees Ron and Hermione coming down the staircase of the boys' dormitory. She doesn't see Harry because he's under the invisibility cloak. In the movie, their relationship ends when Lavender hears Ron say Hermione's name in his sleep. Since I love Ron and Hermione together, I didn't really feel sorry for Lavender. In the book, Harry and Dumbledore talk about how the Horcruxes could be treasures that belong to the Hogwarts founders. And they also talk about how Voldemort's snake Nagini could be a Horcrux. In the movie, Dumbledore says the Horcruxes can be anything, which makes it interesting how Harry knew what to look for in the Deathly Hallows movies. The relationship between Draco and Moaning Myrtle doesn't happen in the movie like it happens in the book. And that makes sense since it's not a big part of the plot, but it would have been nice to see that Draco could talk to someone about his failures in his mission. Also in the book, when Snape comes in and sees that Harry used Sectum Sempra on Draco, he tells Harry to get his potion textbook, and when Harry gives him Ron's textbook, it says Ronald Waslib. This doesn't happen in the movie, but I think it would have been really funny if it did. In the book, Harry and Ginny have their first kiss after a Quidditch game, but in the movie, they have their first kiss in the Room of Requirement after Ginny hides the Half-Blood Prince's book. I really loved that they kissed in both versions, but if I had to pick, I think I like the kiss in the movie better, since it was private and the kiss in the book was in front of everybody. Harry telling Professor Trelawney to come to Dumbledore's office with him after Professor Trelawney was thrown out of the Room of Requirement by someone she couldn't see doesn't happen in the movie like it happens in the book. Although if it did happen in the movie, if it would have given Harry more evidence that Draco was up to something, since he was pretty sure the person was Draco. And he was right. In the book, before Harry leaves with Dumbledore, he gives Hermione and Ron the bottle of Felix Felicis. This doesn't happen in the movie, which makes sense because in the movie, Harry drank the whole bottle. In the book, Hagrid tells Harry about an argument that he overheard Dumbledore and Snape have about Snape not wanting to do what Dumbledore wants him to do. In the movie, this argument is overheard by Harry before he meets Dumbledore on the tower and they leave to go to the cave. I like the way it happened in the movie better. I think it meant more for Harry to see the argument himself instead of hearing about it. In the book, Harry and Dumbledore go to the Hogshead and then disapparate to the cave from there. But in the movie, they disapparate to the cave from Hogwarts. In the book, you can't disapparate from Hogwarts, although it is said that Dumbledore can remove those enchantments. And also in the movie, Dumbledore tells Harry that being him has its privileges. In the book, Harry and Dumbledore have to swim from the rock they're on to the entrance of the cave. But in the movie, we don't see them swimming. We see them on the rock, and then the next second they're at the entrance of the cave. So they could have swam there, or who knows what they could have done. It is a world of magic. Anything could have happened. Also, in the book, Dumbledore tells Harry about how Tom Riddle brought 2 kids to the cave. While this isn't in the final movie, there is a deleted scene of Dumbledore telling Harry. In the book, Dumbledore drinks 3 cups of the potion before he reacts to it. But in the movie, he only drinks 1 cup before he reacts to it. And this was probably because they wanted to get through this scene quickly. Also, in the book, Dumbledore passes out after drinking the potion, but in the movie, he stays conscious. In the book, the Inferi attempt to drag Harry underwater, but in the movie, they actually drag him underwater, which was pretty intimidating. In the book, Dumbledore uses a spell to freeze Harry under his invisibility cloak so Draco won't know that he's there. But in the movie, Harry hides underneath the astronomy tower and watches from under the floorboards, where he's seen by Snape, who tells him to be quiet, and then leaves and kills Dumbledore. And that whole interaction made Harry feel that if he hadn't let Snape go, Snape wouldn't have killed Dumbledore. And he kept that feeling until learning the truth in the Deathly Hallows movies. In the book, it's revealed that Draco put Madame Rosmerta under the Imperius Curse, and that she was the one who gave the necklace to Katie and poisoned the drinks that Slughorn was supposed to give to Dumbledore. Since Madame Rosmerta is only in the Prisoner of Azkaban movie, either that didn't happen in this movie, or it could have and just wasn't mentioned. In the book, there's a battle after Dumbledore is killed, but in the movie, we just see Bellatrix shatter windows while the Death Eaters leave. And this makes sense since I assume they probably wanted to save the big battle for Deathly Hallows Part 2. In the book, Harry reads the note in the fake Horcrux near Dumbledore's body. But in the movie, he shows Hermione the note when Harry, Hermione, and Ron are on the astronomy tower. I liked how it happened in the movie better than the book, because I think if he read the note near Dumbledore's body, it would have ruined the moment of everyone honoring Dumbledore. The book ends after Dumbledore's funeral, and Harry tells Ron and Hermione that he's not coming back to Hogwarts next year, and he breaks up with Ginny to keep her safe. Dumbledore's funeral isn't in the movie. I really wish it was, but it's not, and instead the movie ends with Harry, Ron, and Hermione on the astronomy tower, and Harry shows Hermione the fake Horcrux. Also in this scene, Hermione says that Ron doesn't mind Ginny dating Harry, so I guess they didn't break up in the movie. Thanks for watching, guys! If there's something that happened in the book Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince but didn't happen in the movie that you wish did happen in the movie, let me know in the comments. And also, if you want to see any of my future videos, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!